Meghan McCain says she has turned on Dr. Fauci. Hi, welcome to JOA. If you're new to my channel, please click subscribe and click the bell button so you'll be the first to know when I upload. Watch this clip.
He's increasing his public exposure this way. You think it's a good move for him?
I think he has every right to do any interview he wants and defend himself. In Style magazine, a fashion magazine, sitting by his pool dressed like, you know, somebody in a Brad Pitt movie would not be the choice I would make, just because I think it's always a dangerous territory when anyone in politics, and whether or not he wants to say he's just a public servant, you are in politics in the sense that you have this huge role during a global pandemic during the Trump administration. And I just think the thing about the cult of personality around Dr. Fauci now is he gets all the glory when things are going well and none of the responsibility when things aren't going well. I have a lot of friends who live in California. California is ostensibly shut down right now. Some of my friends work in the beauty industry and they cannot go back to work because it's been shut down again. I have friends that work in the service industry and they can't go back to work. And our country's not doing well. We're not winning this battle like a lot of other countries are. And is all the blame just simply President Trump, and everything good gets given to Dr. Fauci and everything bad gets given to President Trump? It's a narrative that may work with some circles, but it's not flying with, I think, a lot of people in other parts of the country. And I have turned on him more than I think the women on the rest of the show have, because, again, I just think there has to be some responsibility for why that we're still in the position that we are right now. And, you know, I don't think he's a bad man. I mean, he's certainly credited with helping us through the AIDS crisis, but I don't think of him in the same way that the rest of this show does.
Right. Well,
So Meghan McCain says she's basically turned on Dr. Fauci because in the video, she basically explains that when things go right, Dr. Fauci is seen as his holy grail. And then when things go wrong, President Trump is taking the blame. And really, at this point, I wholeheartedly firmly believe that her husband, Ben Dominic, who has his website called The Federalist, is giving Meghan McCain talking points for the show. Dr. Fauci is 79 years old. Dr. Fauci has worked both with Republican presidents. He's worked with Trump. He's worked with President Bush. And then he worked with Democratic presidents. He worked with Bill Clinton. And the man has been working as a disease control specialist for almost 40 years. And yet we have no clue what his political affiliations are. So the fact that this Karen Barbie is blaming Dr. Fauci for you know, her political viewpoints, her husband's political viewpoints, is beyond me, because we have no clue what his political affiliations are. And literally, I was watching Fox News, surprisingly, just right now, and one of the commentators on Fox News was like, well, Dr. Fauci is a Democrat. And he brought that up because him and Jim Jones went at it yesterday, and Jim Jones basically asked Dr. Fauci, he's like, well, you know, you have comments about baseball and other things, so I'm simply asking you a question. Should the protest be stopped? Should we stop protesting? And Dr. Fauci was like, wait, I don't know what you're trying to ensue here.
I think I can make a general statement.
Well, 500,000 protesters on June 6th alone. Yeah. I'm just asking, that number of people, does it increase the spread of the virus?
Crowding together, particularly when you're not wearing a mask, contributes to the spread of the virus.
Should we limit the protesting?
I'm not sure what you mean. How do we say limit the protesting?
Should government limit the protesting?
I don't think that's relevant to...
Well, you just said if it increases the spread of the virus. I'm just asking, should we limit it?
Well, I'm not in a position to determine what the government can do in a forceful way.
Well, you make all kinds of recommendations. You make comments on dating, on baseball, on everything you can imagine. I'm just asking you just said that protests increase the spread. I'm just asking you, should we try to limit the protests?
No, I just increase the spread of the virus.
So in reality, there's no evidence that, and I've researched y'all, there is no scientific evidence that protests are causing the increase of the coronavirus, because from my research, when you are outside, a lot of people, they're wearing masks, number one. Number two, they're socially distant. And the virus, from according to what I read, can get on you. You have to be 6 feet apart. The virus can spread for close contact. And from what I've seen during videos and even in my area, people aren't even close to one another. And protesting is not even consistent. It's not throughout the whole damn day. It's not consistent as going to a grocery store or going to a nail salon or going to a gym that a lot of people do. So I personally believe that instead of making this a health issue, Republicans are making this a political issue, and Meghan McCain and all these other conservatives are trying to downright play this Republican, this man, this doctor Fauci. And the man is like, I'm not about to let y'all ruin my brand. I'm just speaking for him. He didn't say that. Because, he's been, like I said, he's been in the industry for 40 years. And there's no research on whether he's a Democrat or whether he's a Republican. And judging by the magazine that was shown on the View clip, the InStyle magazine, about him sitting down, looking like, he from the Italian mafia and whatnot. If you look at it, at least when I looked at it, what I thought of, okay, dude, you're a freaking doctor. Stop trying to be like a reality show doctor. Stop trying to, because nowadays a lot of these lawyers and these doctors, these high profile career kind of people, they want to be on reality TV. And me, I'm old school, I'm old fashioned. I would never want a doctor or a lawyer to be on a Bravo TV network or to be on some type of fashion magazine promoting their lifestyle and promoting their brand. Because to me, like I said, I'm old fashioned. Like, to me, it's like now you're looking for clout. Now you want to be on camera. So now you're more focused on that as opposed to doing your job and really being the job that you are. The whole point of that is to serve me as a patient, serve me as a client, not to serve the masses on camera and serve your ego. So I was like, you know what? Let me search this InStyle magazine, and y'all, it's a fashion magazine. And I read the interview. Him and his wife actually did the interview, and it took them 3 months to actually do this interview. The woman who did the interview knows Dr. Fauci personally because she has a restaurant, and Dr. Fauci is an avid eater at that restaurant. And in the question, the woman was like, well, she asked Dr. Fauci, does the Trump administration, does the White House administration basically restrict you from going to like TV channels or magazines? And he goes, for the most part, they don't. The woman was like, well, it took us 3 months for this interview, and I've emailed you once a week, every week, for the interview. And basically, from what I get from this man right here is, yeah, he was sitting down with some glasses on, but at the same time, from all his interviews and from all his appearances throughout the media, he's trying to appear nonconformist towards which party affiliation he wants to be in. He's appearing neutral, and he only wants to be a public health official. So the fact that Jim Jordan and the people on Fox News are making this a political thing with this doctor, when this doctor has been in the business for 40 years, he's an Ivy League doctor, to me, that's appalling. And to me, you're only ruining the chances of us getting better. You're only making this worse. The fact that you're spewing negativity and hatred about the situation, yet there are people who are dying every single day over this virus, to me, I find that really appalling. And I just find that disgusting that the Fox News networks are really making this, the Democrats love Fauci. They love him. So Meghan McCain, girl, please sit down, have several seats, have that baby. God bless that baby. And y'all, I'm out of it. I'm tired of this chick. Fox News don't want her. The liberal media don't want her. So she's in the middle. She married a right-wing conservative who loves Fox News. So I personally believe the girl is stuck. She's having an identity crisis with herself and where she belongs. And it is what it is. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Please do subscribe and click the bell button so you'll be the first to know when I upload. Deuces. Yeah.